Welcome, dear listener, to Sleeping Researcher. This is a place where science meets calm, where carefully narrated stories from the natural world gently guide you into restful sleep. If you enjoy these peaceful journeys through fascinating topics, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Tonight, we will explore a hidden world beneath our feet and all around us. The world of plant communication and ecosystem interactions. Though plants may seem silent and still, they are in fact engaged in a complex and subtle dialogue with each other and with the living community they share their environment with. Through invisible networks and chemical signals, plants exchange information, warn one another of danger, and even support their neighbors in times of need. As we unravel these quiet conversations and the delicate balance of ecosystems, you will discover how interconnected life truly is. From towering trees to the smallest fungi, every organism plays a vital role in maintaining the harmony of their world. Understanding this intricate web invites us to appreciate the silent intelligence of nature and the profound relationships that sustain our planet. So, settle in comfortably, breathe deeply, and allow your mind to drift gently into the serene rhythms of the natural world. Together, we will listen closely to the whispers of plants and the stories of ecosystems. In the quiet corners of forests, meadows and gardens, where leaves gently sway and roots stretch beneath the soil, a hidden dialogue unfolds. Plants, often perceived as silent and passive, are in fact active participants in a complex network of communication. This silent exchange is not conducted through words or sounds, but through chemical signals, electrical impulses, and subtle movements that enable plants to share information about their environment, warn of dangers, and even cooperate with one another to thrive. Exploring this intricate form of communication reveals a fascinating dimension of plant life that challenges our traditional perspectives and invites us to listen more closely to the natural world around us. One of the primary ways plants communicate is through the release of chemical signals into the air or soil. When a plant is under attack by herbivores, for example, it can emit volatile organic compounds that serve as distress signals to nearby plants. These neighboring plants may respond by activating their own defense mechanisms, producing bitter or toxic substances that deter herbivores from feeding. Remarkably, this chemical chatter extends beyond individual species, influencing entire plant communities and shaping the balance of ecosystems. Such interactions demonstrate how plants are not isolated entities, but part of a dynamic and responsive network, continuously exchanging information to adapt and survive. Beneath the surface, plant roots engage in equally fascinating communication through symbiotic relationships with fungi and microorganisms. This underground network, sometimes called the wood wide web, allows plants to share nutrients, water, and even warning signals through fungal connections known as mycorrhizae. These underground alliances not only boost the health and resilience of individual plants, but also enhance the stability and productivity of entire ecosystems. Understanding these subterranean interactions sheds light on the profound interdependence that sustains life beneath our feet, revealing a hidden world of cooperation and mutual support. Beyond chemical and fungal communication, plants also utilize electrical signals to transmit information rapidly within their own tissues. When a leaf is damaged, electrical impulses can travel through the plant's vascular system, triggering defensive responses in distant parts. This internal signaling system allows plants to react swiftly to threats, coordinating complex physiological changes that increase their chances of survival. Such discoveries highlight the remarkable sophistication of plant biology, where communication occurs on multiple levels, weaving together individual responses into a cohesive strategy for enduring environmental challenges. As we begin to unravel the secrets of plant communication, we gain a deeper appreciation for the subtle connections that bind the natural world. These interactions not only influence the health and behavior of plants themselves, but also shape the broader ecosystems in which they exist. From alerting neighbors to sharing resources underground, plants participate in an ongoing conversation that sustains life and fosters resilience. This emerging understanding invites us to explore further how these silent signals impact ecological balance and biodiversity, guiding us toward our next journey into the world of ecosystem interactions. To truly grasp the complexity of natural environments, it is essential to delve into the language of plants. Though silent to human ears, plants have evolved intricate methods to exchange information, often through chemical signals, electrical impulses, and even subtle changes in their physical structures. These forms of communication allow plants to respond adaptively to stress, threats, or opportunities within their surroundings. Studying these interactions opens a window into how plants perceive their environment and coordinate with one another, revealing a world where cooperation and competition coexist in delicate balance. By uncovering these hidden dialogues, scientists gain insight into the mechanisms that sustain plant communities and contribute to their survival. This knowledge enriches our understanding of nature's interconnectedness beyond what is visible on the surface. It becomes clear that plant communication is not merely a curiosity, but a fundamental process underpinning ecosystem function and resilience. Exploring plant communication also sheds light on the adaptive strategies plants employ to endure challenges such as herbivory, drought, and nutrient scarcity. When a plant is attacked by insects, for example, it can emit airborne chemical signals that warn neighboring plants to bolster their defenses. Similarly, underground fungal networks known as mycorrhizae facilitate the transfer of nutrients and information between roots, effectively linking individual plants into vast, cooperative communities. These silent exchanges enable plants to collectively manage resources and respond dynamically to environmental changes. Understanding these processes allows researchers to appreciate how plants do not exist as isolated entities, but as participants in a complex web of interactions that promote ecosystem stability. This perspective challenges traditional views of plants as passive organisms and highlights their active role in shaping the landscapes they inhabit. The study of plant communication also has profound implications for conservation and sustainable agriculture. By recognizing how plants communicate stress or resource availability, we can develop strategies that support healthier ecosystems and more resilient crops. This knowledge encourages practices that mimic natural systems, such as promoting biodiversity and maintaining soil health to enhance plant cooperation and reduce vulnerability to pests and diseases. Moreover, understanding plant signaling pathways can inspire innovative approaches to managing ecosystems in the face of climate change, helping to preserve biodiversity and ecosystem services. Through these applications, the study of plant communication bridges fundamental science with practical solutions that benefit both nature and humanity. Such insights invite us to rethink our relationship with the natural world, nurturing a sense of stewardship grounded in respect for these silent yet profound forms of life. As we deepen our exploration into the realm of plant communication, we uncover the subtle yet powerful forces that influence not only individual plants, but the entire web of life surrounding them. These dialogues contribute to shaping habitat structure, species interactions, and the flow of energy and nutrients within ecosystems. Understanding the nuances of these interactions enriches our comprehension of ecological balance and the intricate dance of life that sustains it. This journey reveals that plants, in their quiet exchanges, play an active role in maintaining the harmony and diversity of the natural world. With this foundation, we are better prepared to explore the broader implications of these interactions as they extend beyond individual organisms to encompass entire ecosystems. Plants, though rooted in place and silent to the human ear, possess an extraordinary means of communication through the release and reception of chemical signals. These invisible messages traverse the air and soil, conveying vital information about environmental conditions and biological interactions. When a plant faces a threat, such as an insect attack or pathogen invasion, it may emit specific volatile organic compounds that alert neighboring plants to the danger. These chemical cues can induce defensive responses in nearby flora, prompting the production of protective chemicals or physical barriers. This form of communication is not limited to warnings. It also plays a role in coordinating growth and resource allocation. By interpreting these chemical signals, plants can adjust their physiology and behavior, effectively engaging in a silent conversation that shapes their survival strategy. The subtle exchange of chemical information exemplifies a complex and dynamic language. one that operates beneath the surface of what we traditionally consider interaction in the natural world. Beyond the immediate transmission of warnings, chemical signaling facilitates cooperation among plants and other organisms within ecosystems. Certain species release compounds that attract beneficial insects, such as pollinators or predators of herbivores, thereby enhancing their chances of reproduction and survival. Additionally, plants can communicate through their root systems, releasing chemicals into the soil that influence the behavior of neighboring plants and soil microbes. This underground network of chemical messages helps coordinate nutrient uptake and growth patterns, fostering a more balanced and resilient community. In some cases, plants even engage in mutualistic relationships, where chemical signals encourage symbiotic fungi to form mycorrhizal associations, extending the reach of their root systems and improving access to water and nutrients. The intricate choreography of these chemical exchanges reveals a level of interconnectedness that challenges our traditional understanding of plant behavior as passive or isolated. Such interactions underscore the vital role of chemical signaling in maintaining ecosystem health and stability. The diversity of chemical signals used by plants also contributes to shaping species interactions and biodiversity within habitats. By selectively releasing compounds that inhibit the growth of competing plants, some species create chemical boundaries that influence the spatial distribution of vegetation. This phenomenon, known as allelopathy, can reduce competition for resources such as light, water, and nutrients, thereby shaping the structure of plant communities. Furthermore, chemical signaling can mediate relationships between plants and herbivores, balancing pressures that regulate population dynamics. For example, some plants emit signals that attract predators or parasitoids of their herbivores, indirectly protecting themselves while supporting the broader food web. These multifaceted chemical dialogues weave a complex tapestry of ecological relationships, where cooperation and competition coexist in delicate balance. Understanding these processes invites a deeper appreciation of the silent yet profound ways plants influence the living world around them. Recent scientific advances have begun to unravel the mechanisms behind plant chemical signaling, revealing how molecular pathways translate environmental cues into precise responses. Researchers have identified specific compounds involved in these communications, such as jasminates and salicylic acid, which regulate defense and stress responses within plants. Moreover, the study of plant communication extends to interactions with microorganisms, where chemical signals mediate symbiosis, nutrient cycling, and disease resistance. This expanding field illuminates the complexity of plant sensory systems and their capacity to perceive and respond to their surroundings in highly adaptive ways. By decoding this language, scientists hope to harness these natural processes in agriculture and conservation, promoting sustainable practices that align with the intricate rhythms of ecosystems. The ongoing exploration of chemical signaling opens new pathways toward understanding the profound intelligence embedded within the plant kingdom. As we continue to explore the language of plants through their chemical signals, we begin to see how these messages resonate through entire ecosystems, influencing interactions far beyond individual organisms. The subtle exchanges that occur above and below ground contribute to the resilience and functionality of habitats, supporting diverse communities of plants, animals, and microorganisms. This interconnected web of chemical communication highlights the importance of preserving natural systems where these processes unfold in harmony. Embracing this perspective challenges us to reconsider our relationship with the environment, recognizing plants not merely as passive scenery, but as active participants in the ecological narrative. With this understanding, we are poised to delve deeper into the broader implications of plant communication and its role in the dynamic balance of ecosystems. Among the many ways plants communicate, one of the most fascinating involves the release of volatile organic compounds, or VOCs. These are airborne chemicals that plants emit into the surrounding air as a form of biochemical signaling. When a plant is under attack by herbivores, such as insects or grazing animals, it can release a specific blend of VOCs that serves as an early warning system. Nearby plants, upon detecting these chemical messages, may respond by activating their own defensive mechanisms, such as producing bitter-tasting compounds or strengthening their cell walls to deter herbivores. This silent chemical dialogue allows plants to prepare for potential threats before damage becomes extensive, creating a network of shared vigilance. The intricate nature of VOC signaling reveals that plants are far from isolated organisms. They exist within a community where communication plays a vital role in survival and adaptation. The complexity of VOCs extends beyond simple warning signals. Different species of plants emit unique combinations of these compounds, which can attract beneficial insects like predators or parasitoids that prey on herbivores. For example, when a caterpillar feeds on a leaf, the plant may release VOCs that lure parasitic wasps to the site, turning natural enemies into allies. This fascinating interaction illustrates how VOCs function not only as alarms, but also as invitations, orchestrating a multi-trophic exchange that enhances the plant's defense indirectly. Moreover, these compounds can influence microbial communities in the soil, altering the balance of fungi and bacteria in ways that promote plant health. The airborne nature of VOCs allows signals to travel beyond immediate neighbors, weaving a chemical tapestry that influences the broader ecosystem. Understanding these dynamics sheds light on the subtle yet powerful roles plants play in shaping their environment. Scientists have discovered that the release of VOCs is influenced by a variety of environmental factors, including light, temperature, and the presence of other organisms. Plants finely tune their chemical emissions in response to these variables, demonstrating a level of sensitivity and adaptability that reflects their integral role within ecological networks. For instance, during periods of drought or high herbivore pressure, the intensity and composition of VOC signals may shift to optimize the plant's chances of survival and communication efficacy. This flexibility highlights the dynamic nature of plant communication, which evolves continually as ecosystems change and organisms interact. Additionally, some VOCs serve as attractants for pollinators, linking plant defense with reproduction. Such multifunctional roles exemplify how chemical signals are woven into the life cycles and community relationships of plants. These discoveries deepen our appreciation for the complexity of natural ecosystems and the chemical symphony that sustains them. Beyond individual plant interactions, VOCs contribute to the stability and resilience of entire habitats. By enabling plants to coordinate responses to threats, they help maintain the health and diversity of plant communities. This collective defense mechanism can reduce the spread of damage and support balanced population dynamics among herbivores and their predators. In turn, the presence of diverse plant species and their VOCs fosters a rich environment for other organisms, from insects to mammals, creating a vibrant and interconnected web of life. The study of VOC-mediated communication continues to reveal how ecosystems function as integrated wholes, rather than mere assemblages of separate parts. Recognizing these chemical conversations invites a broader perspective on conservation, emphasizing the preservation of natural processes that sustain life. As we continue to explore these themes, we begin to see how the chemistry of plants shapes the ecological landscape in profound and unexpected ways. Among the many fascinating examples of plant communication, the interaction between corn plants and their surrounding neighbors stands out as a compelling case study. When caterpillars begin feeding on a corn leaf, the affected plant does not suffer in silence. Instead, it releases specific volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, into the air. These chemical signals act as a warning system, traveling on gentle breezes to alert nearby corn plants of the impending threat. Upon detecting these airborne messages, the neighboring plants begin to ramp up their own defenses. This preemptive response often involves producing bitter-tasting or toxic compounds that make the leaves less appealing or more harmful to caterpillars. In this way, the corn plants create a shared protective network, reducing the likelihood that herbivores will successfully damage the entire group. Such communication highlights how plants are not passive victims, but active participants in their environment, capable of sensing and responding to external stresses in sophisticated ways. The chemical language of VOCs transforms the field into a dynamic community, where silent warnings ripple through the air like whispers among kin. The science behind these interactions has deepened our understanding of ecological balance. Researchers have meticulously studied the specific compounds corn plants emit, identifying a complex blend of molecules that vary depending on the type of herbivore attack. These signals do more than just alert neighbors. They can attract natural enemies of the caterpillars, such as parasitic wasps, effectively enlisting biological allies in defense. This three-way interaction exemplifies the intricate relationships that sustain ecosystems. The corn plants, by issuing chemical alarms, not only safeguard themselves and their neighbors, but also shape the behavior of insect populations. This cascading effect can influence herbivore numbers and predator success, contributing to the regulation of species within the habitat. Observing such chemical dialogues challenges the traditional view of plants as solitary organisms, instead revealing a communal existence that depends on continuous chemical exchange. These findings inspire further questions about how widespread and diverse these signaling networks might be across different plant species and environments. Beyond the immediate defense benefits, the VOC emissions by corn plants illustrate a broader ecological principle. Communication fosters resilience. By enabling plants to share information about threats, these chemical signals help prevent localized damage from escalating into widespread devastation. This collective vigilance supports the overall health of plant communities, ensuring that no single herbivore outbreak can easily disrupt the balance. Additionally, such interactions promote genetic diversity and adaptability, as plants capable of responding to VOC cues may have a survival advantage. The dynamic feedback between plants and their environment creates a self-regulating system where chemical messages maintain equilibrium and sustain biodiversity. Understanding these processes deepens our appreciation for the subtle yet powerful ways in which life forms interact and depend on one another, often through invisible channels. The corn plant's chemical warnings serve as a reminder that communication is a fundamental thread weaving the fabric of ecosystems together. Beneath the surface of the earth lies a hidden web of connection, an intricate network formed not by the plants themselves, but by the delicate threads of fungi. These mycorrhizal networks, often called the wood wide web, link the roots of individual plants across vast stretches of soil. Through this underground communication system, plants can exchange nutrients, water, and even chemical signals. The fungal hyphae act as bridges, extending far beyond the reach of a single root, creating a shared community where resources flow and messages travel. This remarkable network supports the survival of many species, especially in nutrient-poor environments, by redistributing essential elements like nitrogen and phosphorus. The mycorrhizal associations exemplify a form of cooperation that transcends competition, revealing a subtle yet powerful layer of interaction that sustains ecosystems from below ground. As plants connect through mycorrhizal fungi, they engage in a form of dialogue that is both chemical and electrical. Signals transmitted along the fungal threads can alert neighboring plants to threats such as pest attacks, drought, or disease. This communication allows plants to preemptively bolster their defenses, producing protective compounds or adjusting growth patterns even before a direct attack occurs. The exchange is not merely passive, it reflects a dynamic feedback system where plants assess their environment and respond collectively, enhancing resilience at the community level. Intriguingly, some studies suggest that older or larger mother plants can supply younger seedlings with extra nutrients, nurturing them through the network and promoting forest regeneration. These interactions underscore an ecological intelligence, a quiet cooperation woven into the very fabric of soil life. The mycorrhizal networks also play a vital role in shaping biodiversity and ecosystem stability. By facilitating nutrient sharing, they enable a diverse range of plant species to coexist, each occupying its niche without exhausting resources. This underground connectivity can mitigate the effects of environmental stressors, such as drought or soil contamination, by redistributing water and nutrients to vulnerable plants. Moreover, the fungal partners themselves benefit from this symbiosis, receiving carbohydrates produced by the plants through photosynthesis. This mutualistic relationship highlights an elegant balance. Both partners depend on each other for survival, creating a foundation for healthy, resilient ecosystems. In this way, the mycorrhizal networks are not just conduits for communication, but essential architects of ecological harmony. Exploring the complexity of root communication through mycorrhizal networks invites us to reconsider our understanding of plant life. Far from being isolated individuals, plants form vast, interdependent communities connected by invisible threads beneath our feet. These fungal networks reveal an astonishing capacity for cooperation and information exchange, reminding us that life thrives not only through competition, but through collaboration. As we deepen our knowledge of these subterranean relationships, we gain insight into the profound interconnectedness that sustains ecosystems and the subtle mechanisms that maintain balance in the natural world. This perspective gently leads us to appreciate the myriad ways in which plants and their environment are entwined, a theme that continues as we explore the broader spectrum of ecosystem interactions. Beneath the soil's surface lies a hidden world of extraordinary connectivity known as the Wood Wide Web. This evocative term describes an underground network where mycorrhizal fungi form intricate links between the roots of different plants. These fungal threads, called hyphae, weave through the earth, connecting individual plants into a vast communication system. Through this network, plants are able to exchange nutrients, chemical signals, and even warning messages about environmental stressors. It is a silent symphony of interaction, where the seemingly solitary plants become participants in a communal dialogue. This subterranean web is not merely a means of survival, but a sophisticated system that sustains and strengthens entire plant communities. The discovery of such networks challenges traditional views of plants as passive organisms, and instead highlights their dynamic roles as active partners in ecosystem health. Mycorrhizal fungi, which form symbiotic relationships with plant roots, extend far beyond the reach of any single plant's root system. They act as biological bridges, facilitating the transfer of vital resources such as carbon, nitrogen, and phosphorus. These nutrients often flow from one plant to another, supporting weaker or younger individuals within the community. In some cases, older, more established trees share carbon with younger seedlings, helping them to survive in shaded or nutrient-poor environments. This generosity suggests a level of cooperation that defies simple ecological competition. Moreover, plants can send distress signals through this network, alerting neighboring plants to threats like insect attacks or drought conditions. The fungi then transport chemical messages that prime other plants' defenses, preparing them for similar challenges ahead. Such intricate communication reveals an ecosystem underpinned by mutual support and resilience. Recognizing these exchanges invites us to see the forest floor not as a battleground, but as a collaborative environment where life thrives through connection. Beyond the nutrient sharing and warning signals, the Wood Wide Web influences broader ecological interactions, shaping the composition and diversity of plant communities. By connecting multiple species, mycorrhizal networks can affect competition and cooperation dynamics, allowing plants to coexist and flourish together. Some fungi exhibit preferences, linking certain plants more closely, which can influence seedling establishment and the regeneration of forests after disturbances. These fungal connections also impact soil health and structure, promoting microbial diversity and enhancing water retention. Through these subtle yet powerful effects, the Wood Wide Web contributes to ecosystem stability and productivity. It becomes clear that the health of individual plants is inseparable from the health of their fungal partners and the soil environment. This holistic perspective enriches our understanding of how ecosystems function as integrated wholes, rather than collections of isolated parts. Such insights encourage ongoing exploration into the unseen networks that sustain life beneath our feet. In the realm of plant communication and ecosystem interactions, few discoveries have been as transformative as those made by Suzanne Simard. Her pioneering research unveiled the intricate underground networks that connect trees through mycorrhizal fungi, revealing a world where plants do not merely compete for resources, but also cooperate in subtle and profound ways. Simard's work focused on the transfer of carbon between trees, demonstrating that these connections allow for the sharing of vital nutrients across species boundaries. This carbon exchange acts as a lifeline, especially for younger or shaded trees that struggle to photosynthesize adequately on their own. By tracing isotopes of carbon, Simard and her team provided compelling evidence of this underground generosity, fundamentally altering our understanding of forest ecology. Her findings suggest that forests operate less like battlegrounds and more like communities, where interconnectedness fosters resilience and mutual support. The implications of Simard's discoveries extend far beyond the individual trees and their fungal partners. By revealing the mycorrhizal network as a conduit for carbon transfer, she illuminated a mechanism through which forests maintain stability and recover from disturbances such as logging, fires, or disease outbreaks. Seedlings and saplings benefit from the carbon contributions of mature trees, improving their chances of survival in challenging environments. This form of cooperation suggests a form of communication and resource allocation that prioritizes the health of the forest as a whole. Such interactions challenge traditional ecological models that emphasized competition as the primary driver of plant community dynamics. Instead, Simard's work highlights how facilitative relationships can shape forest composition and productivity. These insights encourage us to reconsider how we manage and conserve forests, recognizing the importance of preserving these hidden networks. Some of those, theys. At its core, Simard's research underscores the complexity and sophistication of plant behavior. Through the fungal networks, trees can send chemical signals that warn neighbors of herbivore attacks or environmental stress, triggering defensive responses. The carbon transfer itself represents a tangible form of support, wherein trees actively invest in the well-being of their kin and even distant relatives. This interconnectedness blurs the lines between individual organisms and the broader community, suggesting an ecological intelligence embedded within the soil. Such discoveries invite a deeper appreciation for the subtle ways plants interact, communicate, and sustain one another. As we continue to explore these underground connections, we uncover the rich tapestry of life that supports terrestrial ecosystems. The work of Simard thus serves as a beacon, guiding ongoing research into the unseen networks that underpin ecological balance. Beyond the chemical messages that travel through fungal networks, plants possess an even more immediate means of communication: electrical signals. Much like the nerve impulses found in animals, plants generate rapid electrical changes within their cells to perceive and respond to their surroundings. These electrical signals often propagate along the plant's vascular system, allowing information to be transmitted swiftly from one part of the organism to another. For instance, when a leaf experiences mechanical damage or herbivore attack, electrical impulses can be triggered within seconds, alerting distant tissues to prepare defensive measures such as toxin production or the reinforcement of cell walls. This remarkable mechanism reveals an additional layer of plant responsiveness, one that operates on a timescale previously thought exclusive to animals. It is a testament to the intricate physiological adaptations plants have evolved to survive and thrive in ever-changing environments. Electrical signaling in plants involves changes in ion fluxes across cell membranes, particularly involving calcium, potassium, and chloride ions. These shifts alter the electrical potential difference, creating waves of depolarization that travel through the plant's tissues. Such bioelectrical activity can integrate diverse environmental cues, including light fluctuations, temperature variations, and mechanical stimuli like touch or wind. In some cases, plants even exhibit action potentials, rapid transient electrical changes reminiscent of those in animal neurons. underscoring a deep evolutionary convergence in how life senses and reacts to its environment. This electrical communication not only prompts localized defense responses, but also coordinates systemic reactions, ensuring that the entire organism mobilizes effectively. The study of these electrical phenomena is shedding light on the dynamic inner life of plants, revealing that they are far from passive entities, but rather highly sensitive and responsive beings. The implications of electrical signaling extend beyond individual plants to the larger ecological context. When plants respond to external stresses through electrical impulses, they may also trigger the release of volatile organic compounds, chemical messages that drift through the air to warn neighboring plants of impending threats. This coupling of electrical and chemical communication creates a complex web of interactions, facilitating community-wide resilience. In natural ecosystems, such rapid signaling can influence herbivore behavior, pollinator attraction, and even microbial activity in the soil, weaving a rich network of cause and effect. The ability of plants to integrate and transmit information electrically underscores their active participation in ecosystem dynamics, challenging traditional views of plant life as silent and static. Instead, plants emerge as dynamic communicators, engaging with their environment and fellow organisms in subtle but profound ways. Research into plant electrical signaling continues to evolve, employing advanced techniques such as electrophysiology and imaging to unravel the precise pathways and mechanisms involved. Scientists are discovering that these signals can vary in intensity and duration, potentially encoding different types of information. Moreover, the interaction between electrical signals and hormonal pathways adds further complexity, suggesting a sophisticated internal language that integrates multiple layers of communication. Understanding this interplay offers promising avenues for enhancing agricultural practices, such as developing crops that anticipate and resist stress more effectively. As we deepen our exploration of electrical communication in plants, we gain not only scientific insight, but also a renewed sense of wonder at the hidden vitality present within the natural world. This growing awareness of electrical signaling dovetails seamlessly with the broader recognition of interconnectedness within ecosystems. Just as fungal networks transfer nutrients and chemical cues, and as electrical impulses traverse plant tissues, so too do these varied communication channels contribute to a resilient and responsive community of life. The subtle exchange of information among plants, mediated by both underground and internal networks, invites us to reconsider the boundaries between individual and environment. In this light, plants become active participants in a shared dialogue that shapes growth, survival, and adaptation. As we move forward, the exploration of electrical signals in plants offers a compelling bridge toward understanding their rapid responses to environmental changes, setting the stage for an even deeper inquiry into the remarkable ways plants perceive and interact with the world around them. Among the myriad examples of plant responsiveness, Mimosa pudica stands out as a remarkable illustration of rapid communication within the plant kingdom. Commonly known as the sensitive plant, Mimosa pudica exhibits a fascinating behavior its delicate leaflets fold inwards swiftly upon touch or mechanical disturbance. This seemingly simple reaction is far more than a passive reflex. It embodies a complex system of electrical signaling that traverses the plant's tissues, triggering movement as a form of defense. When an external stimulus is detected, electrical impulses propagate along specialized cells, similar in concept to nerve signals in animals, though differing in structure and speed. These impulses prompt the plant's motor cells to lose turgor pressure, causing the leaves to fold. This rapid movement can deter herbivores or reduce damage from environmental stressors, illustrating an active communication mechanism within the plant itself. The electrical signals observed in Mimosa pudica are part of a broader phenomenon where plants use bioelectrical communication to regulate internal processes and respond to external factors. Unlike animals, plants lack nervous systems, yet they have evolved sophisticated ways to transmit information across their tissues. In the case of Mimosa, the electrical excitation spreads through phloem cells, which, in addition to transporting nutrients, serve as conduits for these rapid signals. This dual functionality underscores the intricate design of vascular systems in plants, integrating both chemical and electrical modes of communication. The speed and coordination required for the leaf folding response reveal how plants can quickly adapt to immediate threats, balancing energy expenditure against survival benefits. Such mechanisms challenge traditional views of plants as passive organisms, highlighting their dynamic interactions with the environment. Beyond the individual level, the behavior of Mimosa pudica invites reflection on the role of electrical signaling in broader ecosystem interactions. The plant's response to touch is not isolated. It can influence neighboring plants and organisms through subtle vibrations, chemical signals, and changes in microhabitats. For example, the folding of leaves may reduce shading, affecting nearby plants' light exposure, or alter the habitat for small insects and microbes. These cascading effects illustrate how electrical and chemical communications within a single plant reverberate through the surrounding community, contributing to the delicate balance of ecosystems. Understanding these interactions expands our appreciation for the interconnectedness that defines natural systems, where the actions of one organism ripple outward, shaping the environment and its inhabitants. The study of Mimosa pudica and its electrical signaling also opens doors to exploring how plants perceive and process information from their environment in real time. Research continues to uncover the molecular and cellular pathways that enable such rapid responses, revealing parallels with animal sensory systems and highlighting unique plant adaptations. This knowledge not only deepens our scientific understanding, but also inspires biomimetic approaches in technology and agriculture, where harnessing plant communication pathways could enhance crop resilience and sustainability. Observing the sensitive plant's movements reminds us of the delicate yet dynamic nature of life, where even the smallest organism holds remarkable secrets of communication and survival. as we reflect on the sensitive plant's remarkable capacity for electrical signaling and rapid response, we find ourselves poised to delve further into the myriad ways plants interact with their surroundings. This exploration naturally leads us to consider other forms of plant communication and the complex web of interactions that define ecosystems. From chemical exchanges to symbiotic relationships, each discovery enriches our understanding of the silent yet vibrant conversations taking place in the natural world, inviting us to listen more closely and appreciate the nuanced dialogue between plants and their environment. Beyond the visible world of leaves and branches lies a subtle network of communication through which plants convey messages to one another and to other organisms within their environment. These chemical signals, often released through roots or leaves, act as whispers that travel through the air or soil, informing neighboring plants of potential threats like insect attacks or drought conditions. For example, when a plant is under herbivore attack, it may emit volatile organic compounds that alert nearby plants to bolster their own defenses. This silent exchange enables plants to prepare in advance, creating a communal resilience that benefits the entire plant community. Yet, this communication is not limited to other plants. Many species have evolved to send signals that attract beneficial allies, such as pollinators or protective insects, further enriching the tapestry of interactions within their ecosystems. The relationship between plants and fungi illustrates another dimension of this intricate interaction network. Mycorrhizal fungi, which form symbiotic associations with plant roots, extend the effective reach of plants far beyond their immediate root zones. These fungal networks facilitate the transfer of water, nutrients, and even chemical signals between individual plants, often linking multiple species together in a shared underground community. Through these connections, resources can be redistributed according to need, supporting younger or stressed plants and enhancing the overall health and stability of the ecosystem. This underground communication highway challenges our traditional view of plants as solitary beings, revealing instead a cooperative society where mutual aid and exchange are vital to survival. Microbes also play a crucial role in shaping the dialogues between plants and their environments. Beneficial bacteria residing in the soil or on plant surfaces can influence plant growth, immunity, and stress responses by producing hormones or modulating nutrient availability. Some microbes stimulate plants to release specific compounds that attract them, fostering a reciprocal relationship that enhances plant vitality. Conversely, pathogenic microbes can trigger alarm signals that ripple through plant communities, prompting defensive measures. This dynamic interplay between plants and their microbial partners or adversaries adds another layer of complexity to ecosystem interactions, highlighting the delicate balance maintained by chemical cues and responses beneath our feet and beyond our sight. interactions further enrich the communicative landscape of plants. Pollinators, such as bees and butterflies, respond to floral scents, colors, and nectar rewards, which plants have fine-tuned to attract the right visitors. In return, the animals facilitate reproduction by transferring pollen between flowers, creating a powerful mutualistic bond. Beyond pollination, some plants emit signals to attract predatory insects that prey on herbivores threatening their leaves. Others even employ deceptive tactics, mimicking the appearance or scent of certain animals to ensure seed dispersal or to deter potential threats. These multifaceted exchanges demonstrate how plants have evolved to integrate animal behavior into their survival strategies, weaving themselves into the broader ecological narrative. Through these myriad channels, chemical, electrical, symbiotic, and behavioral, plants engage in a continuous, complex dialogue with their allies and adversaries alike. These interactions form interconnected networks that sustain the balance and diversity of ecosystems, shaping the lives of countless species. As we continue to uncover the nuances of plant communication, we gain profound insight into the cooperative and adaptive nature of life itself. This understanding encourages us to look beyond the surface, recognizing the subtle signals that bind together the living world in a harmonious dance of interaction and mutual influence. In the vast tapestry of nature, pollination stands as one of the most elegant examples of communication between plants and their animal partners. Through a delicate interplay of colors, shapes, and fragrances, plants extend invitations to a diverse array of pollinators: bees, butterflies, birds, and even bats, each uniquely suited to transfer pollen from one flower to another. These visual cues are far from random. Vibrant petals often reflect ultraviolet light patterns, invisible to the human eye, but brilliantly clear to many insects. Meanwhile, the release of carefully crafted scents acts as an olfactory roadmap, guiding pollinators toward nectar rewards hidden deep within blossoms. This subtle yet effective signaling system ensures that pollen reaches receptive parts of other flowers, facilitating fertilization and the production of seeds. The relationship between plants and pollinators is a finely balanced partnership, evolving over millions of years into a choreography of mutual benefit. Plants invest energy not only in producing nectar, but also in honing their signals to attract the most efficient pollinators. In return, animals gain nourishment, which sustains their own survival and reproductive success. This exchange exemplifies the interconnectedness of living beings and highlights the importance of biodiversity within ecosystems. When pollinators thrive, plant populations flourish, maintaining the genetic diversity necessary to adapt to changing environments. Conversely, the decline of pollinator species can disrupt these critical interactions, leading to cascading effects that ripple through the entire ecological community. Beyond the immediate benefits of reproduction, pollination partnerships contribute profoundly to the resilience and stability of ecosystems. As plants produce fruits and seeds, they provide food and habitat for a multitude of organisms, from small insects to large mammals. The success of one flower's communication can translate into a flourishing habitat, supporting complex food webs and nutrient cycles. Some plants have even developed specialized structures and timing mechanisms, synchronizing their flowering periods to coincide with the presence of specific pollinators, reinforcing the precision of these natural conversations. Such adaptations underscore the intricate ways in which life forms are attuned to one another, constantly responding to subtle environmental cues and each other's signals. Beyond the immediate benefits of reproduction, pollination partnerships contribute to the resilience and stability of the ecosystems, as plants have even developed specialized slilers to the resilience and stability of the ecosystems, supporting complex food webs and stability of the ecosystems. Some plants have even developed specialized slilers to the resilience and stability of the ecosystems, as plants have even developed specialized slilers to the resilience and stability of the ecosystems. Success of one flower's communications. Recent scientific explorations have revealed even deeper layers of signaling within pollination networks. For instance, certain plants emit chemical compounds that can deter less effective pollinators or attract predators of herbivores, indirectly protecting their reproductive investments. Others adjust the intensity of their visual displays or scent emissions based on environmental conditions, demonstrating a dynamic responsiveness that enhances their chances of successful pollination. These findings remind us that plant communication is not static, but a living, adaptive process, shaped by both internal physiology and external ecological pressures. As we delve further into this subtle language, we begin to appreciate the sophistication of these natural interactions and the vital role they play in sustaining life's diversity. Thus, through the silent yet potent signals of color and scent, plants orchestrate a symphony of interactions that extend far beyond their own survival. These pollination partnerships knit together the fabric of ecosystems, ensuring the continuity of countless species and the richness of the natural world. As we observe these delicate exchanges, we are invited to recognize the profound intelligence embedded in the living landscape and to honor the quiet conversations that preserve the balance of life. From here, we may turn our attention to the broader networks of plant communication, where roots and fungi engage in their own intricate dialogues beneath the soil surface. Beyond the vibrant displays of color and the fragrant bouquets that attract pollinators, plants engage in another remarkable form of communication, one that involves summoning allies for their defense. When under attack by herbivorous insects, some plants release subtle chemical signals into the air, invisible messages that travel silently through the surrounding environment. These emissions are not merely calls for help, they are invitations extended to predatory insects, such as parasitic wasps or ladybugs, who feast on the herbivores, threatening the plant's well-being. Through this intricate chemical language, plants transform potential enemies into unexpected allies, creating a delicate balance where survival depends on cooperation across species boundaries. This defensive alliance is a testament to the nuanced strategies plants have evolved over millions of years. When a caterpillar begins to feed on a leaf, the plant may release specific volatile organic compounds that attract tiny wasps capable of laying their eggs within the caterpillar's body. As the wasp larvae develop, they reduce the damage inflicted on the plant by consuming the herbivore from within. Such interactions reveal an elegant partnership where plants leverage the natural behaviors of predatory insects to reduce harm and maintain vitality. This silent communication, often imperceptible to human senses, unfolds continuously in meadows, forests, and gardens, shaping the intricate web of life that sustains ecosystems. Beyond individual plants, these chemical signals can ripple through the ecosystem, influencing neighboring flora and the broader insect community. Some plants respond to the distress signals of their companions by preemptively activating their own defenses, such as producing bitter compounds or reinforcing cell walls, effectively preparing for potential herbivore attacks. Meanwhile, predatory insects learn to associate specific plant scents with the presence of their prey, finely tuning their hunting strategies. This dynamic interaction, weaving together the fates of plants and insects, exemplifies the complex communication networks that underpin ecological stability. In this way, plants do not stand passively, but actively manage their relationships, fostering alliances that echo throughout the natural world. The study of these defensive partnerships has opened new avenues for understanding how ecosystems function holistically, revealing that plant communication extends far beyond the visible and the familiar. By deciphering these chemical conversations, scientists hope to uncover sustainable methods for agriculture, reducing reliance on synthetic pesticides by harnessing nature's own defense mechanisms. As we learn more about the subtle languages of plants and insects, it becomes clear that every interaction carries significance, every signal a message of survival and coexistence. This intricate dance of mutual aid encourages us to view plants not as passive organisms, but as active participants in their environment, continuously shaping and reshaping the ecological communities in which they thrive. As we deepen our understanding of these above-ground alliances, it invites us to explore even further into the hidden networks beneath the soil's surface. There, roots intertwine with fungi, exchanging nutrients and information in a silent dialogue that supports the health of entire forests and grasslands. These underground conversations, though less visible, are no less vital, offering another dimension to the story of plant communication and ecosystem interactions. Beneath the visible interactions of plants, there exists a subtle yet powerful form of communication that unfolds through chemistry. This phenomenon, known as allelopathy, involves plants releasing specific biochemical compounds into their surroundings. These chemicals travel through the soil or air, influencing the growth and development of neighboring plants. Rather than a simple coexistence, allelopathy reflects a competitive strategy where plants exert control over their environment, subtly shaping which species thrive nearby. This chemical dialogue often inhibits seed germination, root elongation, or nutrient uptake of potential competitors, granting the allelopathic plant a better chance at survival and reproduction. In this way, plants are not passive organisms, but active participants in a dynamic conversation, using chemistry as a language to negotiate space and resources within their ecosystems. Such interactions reveal the intricate balance between cooperation and competition that sustains plant communities. The chemicals involved in allelopathy are diverse, ranging from phenolics and terpenoids to alkaloids and flavonoids. Each compound has unique properties and effects depending on the species that produces it and the environmental context. Some plants release these substances through their roots directly into the soil, while others may emit them from leaves or fallen litter. These chemical signals can persist in the environment, creating zones where certain species are discouraged from establishing. This process not only influences plant distribution, but also impacts soil microbial communities. By altering the microbial balance, allelopathic plants indirectly affect nutrient cycling and soil health, further shaping the ecosystem around them. Such multifaceted effects highlight the complexity of chemical communication and its pivotal role in maintaining the delicate equilibrium of natural habitats. Allelopathy serves as a reminder that competition in nature is not always a visible struggle for light or space, but can be a silent contest waged through invisible chemical messages. This chemical warfare can determine the success or failure of seedlings, influencing patterns of biodiversity and community structure. In some cases, invasive species exploit allelopathic strategies to outcompete native plants, disrupting established ecosystems and altering habitat compositions. Understanding these chemical interactions is crucial for ecologists seeking to manage ecosystems sustainably and restore balance where human activities have caused disruption. By appreciating the nuanced ways plants communicate and compete, we gain deeper insights into the resilience and adaptability of natural systems. This knowledge continues to unfold, guiding us toward a more harmonious coexistence with the plant world. Beyond competition, allelopathy also reveals the interconnectedness of life beneath the surface. The chemical signals not only suppress rivals, but can sometimes stimulate beneficial relationships, encouraging symbiotic partnerships with certain fungi or bacteria. These interactions enhance nutrient availability and bolster plant defenses against pests and diseases. Thus, allelopathy is not solely a mechanism of antagonism, but part of a broader communication network that integrates competitive and cooperative strategies. This delicate balance ensures ecosystems remain dynamic and responsive to environmental changes, allowing species to adapt and coexist over time. As we continue to explore these chemical conversations, we uncover the subtle artistry with which plants negotiate their survival and contribute to ecosystem health. Within the quiet world of plants, communication is a vital thread, weaving together the fabric of life. Yet, this intricate dialogue is not immune to external pressures. Environmental stresses such as drought, extreme temperatures, or pollution introduce challenges that ripple through these chemical and physical signaling networks. When plants experience water scarcity, for example, their ability to send and receive biochemical messages can be impaired. The molecules they release to signal distress or to summon beneficial organisms may diminish in quantity or alter in composition. This disruption affects not only individual plants, but also the broader community, as neighbors rely on these cues to adjust their own physiological responses. In this way, the stress experienced by one plant echoes through the ecosystem, influencing interactions that sustain life beneath the canopy. Pollution, another pervasive environmental stressor, introduces a complex array of chemicals into plant habitats. Heavy metals, particulates, and synthetic compounds can interfere with the delicate mechanisms plants use to communicate. These contaminants may degrade signaling molecules or block receptors, effectively silencing messages meant for defense or cooperation. For instance, allelopathic chemicals that typically inhibit competing plants might lose their potency, while signals encouraging symbiotic relationships with fungi or bacteria might weaken. The consequences extend beyond individual plants, potentially destabilizing nutrient cycles and protective networks within the soil. Plants caught in polluted environments often exhibit stunted growth or increased vulnerability to pests, symptoms that reflect the breakdown of their internal and external communication channels. Such interruptions underscore the sensitivity of plant signaling systems to the quality of their surroundings. The impact of environmental stress on plant communication also highlights the dynamic nature of ecosystems. As signals falter or shift, plants may adapt by modifying their chemical languages, producing alternative compounds, or changing the timing of their messages. These adjustments are subtle negotiations, attempts to maintain balance amid changing conditions. However, prolonged or severe stress can overwhelm these adaptive capacities, leading to weakened individual plants and altered community structures. Pollinators, herbivores, and microorganisms, all participants in these ecological dialogues, respond to these changes as well, sometimes migrating or declining in number. The result is a cascade of effects that reshape relationships across trophic levels, illustrating how tightly interwoven these systems truly are. In this light, environmental stress emerges not simply as a challenge, but as a force that can redefine the contours of communication and coexistence. Researchers continue to uncover the nuanced ways plants respond to stress, revealing complex feedback loops between the environment and biological signaling. For example, drought conditions might trigger the release of volatile organic compounds that attract predatory insects, helping to reduce herbivore damage during vulnerable periods. Yet, if pollution alters these compounds' structures, the intended signals may become confusing or ineffective. Understanding these intricate responses offers insight into the resilience and fragility of plant communities. It also emphasizes the importance of preserving healthy environments to maintain the integrity of these silent conversations that sustain life. As we deepen our awareness of these processes, we begin to appreciate the sophisticated adaptations plants employ to navigate a world of shifting challenges. The revelations about plant communication extend beyond natural ecosystems and into the realms of agriculture and forestry, where human intervention shapes landscapes and productivity. Plants do not exist in isolation. Their ability to exchange signals through chemical, electrical, and even fungal networks suggests a profound interconnectedness that can be harnessed to improve crop resilience and forest health. For instance, understanding how plants emit warning signals when under attack by pests allows farmers to anticipate outbreaks and deploy biological controls more effectively, reducing the reliance on synthetic pesticides. Moreover, fostering beneficial relationships between plants and their microbial partners within the soil can enhance nutrient uptake and stress tolerance, promoting more sustainable farming practices. This knowledge invites a shift from conventional methods towards systems that support the natural communication pathways plants depend on, encouraging biodiversity and ecosystem stability. As agricultural landscapes become more attuned to these silent dialogues, the potential emerges to cultivate environments where plants themselves contribute to their protection and growth, embodying a partnership between humans and nature that is both respectful and productive. In forestry, similar principles guide a deeper appreciation for how trees and understory plants interact within complex communities. Trees communicate through the mycorrhizal networks beneath the soil, exchanging nutrients, water, and even warning signals about environmental stressors such as drought or insect infestations. By preserving or restoring these subterranean connections, forest managers can support healthier, more resilient woodlands capable of withstanding the increasing challenges posed by climate change. For example, selective thinning practices that maintain the integrity of these networks can prevent the spread of disease and enhance overall forest vigor. In addition, reforestation efforts that prioritize diverse species mixtures can mimic natural communication patterns, fostering ecosystems that are more adaptable and less susceptible to catastrophic disturbances. This ecological insight encourages a stewardship approach that values the unseen interactions essential to forest survival, allowing humans to work with natural processes rather than against them. Through this lens, forestry evolves from a mere resource extraction activity into a thoughtful engagement with living communities, where communication is a cornerstone of ecosystem health. Embracing plant communication in agricultural and forestry contexts also opens doors to innovative technologies that align with ecological principles. researchers are exploring ways to monitor plant signaling molecules in real time, providing early warnings of stress or pest presence. Such precision agriculture techniques can optimize water use, reduce chemical inputs, and enhance crop yields by responding to plants' own cues. Likewise, integrating companion planting strategies based on known chemical interactions can create synergistic effects that naturally deter pests and improve soil quality. In forestry, remote sensing and bioacoustic monitoring offer promising tools to assess tree health and detect subtle changes within forests. These advancements underscore a growing recognition that plants are active participants in their environments, capable of influencing their surroundings through communication networks that humans are only beginning to understand. By aligning management practices with these natural processes, we foster ecosystems that are not only productive, but also resilient and self-regulating. Such integration of science and practice invites a future where technology serves to amplify rather than replace the wisdom embedded in plant communities. The implications of plant communication extend to the very ethos of how we perceive and interact with the natural world. Moving beyond the traditional view of plants as passive organisms, we recognize them as dynamic entities engaged in constant exchange with their neighbors and environment. This shift encourages agricultural and forestry systems that prioritize ecological balance, supporting beneficial organisms and minimizing disruptions to communication networks. Practices such as reduced tillage, cover cropping, and maintaining habitat corridors contribute to sustaining these intricate interactions. Furthermore, acknowledging the importance of plant signaling fosters a deeper respect for the subtle ways ecosystems maintain their integrity, inspiring stewardship that embraces patience and attentiveness. As these principles permeate land management strategies, they promote landscapes that are not only productive, but also vibrant and diverse, capable of withstanding the uncertainties of a changing climate. This growing harmony between human activity and plant communication offers a promising path toward truly sustainable agriculture and forestry. In exploring the role of plant communication within managed landscapes, we open ourselves to a broader understanding of ecosystem interactions as a whole. Each plant, through its silent signals, participates in a web of relationships that influence nutrient cycling, pest dynamics, and overall ecosystem stability. Recognizing these connections compels us to rethink how we cultivate our lands, favoring methods that enhance rather than diminish these natural processes. As research continues to reveal the depth and complexity of plant signaling, new opportunities arise to design agricultural and forestry systems that are adaptive, resilient, and aligned with the rhythms of nature. This perspective invites ongoing curiosity and innovation, encouraging a dialogue between science and tradition that honors the wisdom of living ecosystems. In this unfolding story, the potential to harness plant communication becomes a beacon guiding us toward practices that nurture both the earth and the life it sustains. As we delve deeper into the realm of plant communication, emerging technologies begin to illuminate the subtle languages that plants use to interact with their environment and one another. Innovations such as bioelectronic sensors are at the forefront of this exploration, offering unprecedented access to the electrical and chemical signals that flow beneath the surface of leaves and roots. These devices, designed to be minimally invasive, can measure variations in voltage, hormone levels, and other physiological markers in real time, providing a dynamic window into the living conversations of plants. By decoding these signals, researchers hope to unravel the complex signaling pathways that govern responses to stress, nutrient availability, and even interspecies communication within a community of plants. The ability to monitor these interactions continuously transforms our understanding from static observations to a vibrant narrative of ecosystem processes unfolding moment by moment. Beyond mere observation, bioelectronic technologies hold the promise of enhancing plant signaling in ways that could support more resilient ecosystems and sustainable agriculture. For instance, by detecting early warning signs of drought or pest attacks through subtle shifts in electrical patterns, these systems may enable timely interventions that reduce crop losses without relying heavily on chemical inputs. Additionally, there is growing interest in using such devices to facilitate beneficial plant-plant communication, perhaps by artificially amplifying signals that promote defense mechanisms or resource sharing. This approach reflects a shift from viewing plants as passive organisms to recognizing them as active participants in their environment, capable of complex information exchange. As these technologies mature, they may also contribute to restoring degraded landscapes by supporting plant communities that communicate effectively to maintain soil health and biodiversity. The integration of bioelectronics with other scientific disciplines, such as genomics and ecology, further enriches the tapestry of plant communication research. High-throughput sequencing allows scientists to link specific signaling molecules to gene expression patterns, revealing how genetic programs are orchestrated in response to environmental cues. When combined with sensor data capturing real-time dynamics, this integrated approach offers a holistic perspective on how plants perceive and adapt to their surroundings. Moreover, ecological studies help contextualize these findings within broader ecosystem interactions, highlighting how plant signals influence pollinators, soil microbes, and herbivores. This multidisciplinary synergy fosters innovations that are not only technologically sophisticated, but also ecologically grounded. Such collaboration underscores the importance of viewing plant communication as a cornerstone of ecosystem function, rather than an isolated phenomenon. As we consider the ethical and practical implications of manipulating plant signaling pathways with emerging technologies, a careful balance must be maintained. While enhancing plant communication may offer benefits such as improved crop yields and ecosystem resilience, it also raises questions about unintended consequences and the integrity of natural processes. ensuring that interventions are guided by ecological principles and respect for biodiversity is paramount. This calls for continuous dialogue among scientists, farmers, and indigenous communities who have long observed and interacted with plant behaviors in traditional ways. Embracing this inclusive approach enriches the development and application of new technologies, fostering stewardship that honors the wisdom embedded within living ecosystems. Through mindful innovation, we may find pathways that harmonize human needs with the intricate communication networks of plants. Looking ahead, the convergence of bioelectronic sensing, computational modeling, and ecological insight heralds a new era in understanding plant communication and ecosystem interactions. As these tools become more accessible and refined, they will likely reveal previously hidden dimensions of plant behavior, from subtle rhythmic patterns to complex community decision-making processes. This expanding knowledge invites us to reimagine our relationship with the natural world, fostering a deeper sense of connection and responsibility. Each advancement not only enriches scientific inquiry, but also inspires practical applications that align with the enduring rhythms of nature. With continued exploration, the potential to decode and gently guide plant signaling pathways stands as a beacon of hope for nurturing the vitality and balance of the ecosystems we all depend upon. The prospect of humans communicating directly with plants invites a profound shift in how we perceive life and intelligence beyond our own species. Plants, though silent to our ears, engage in a rich tapestry of chemical, electrical, and mechanical signals to navigate their environment and interact with one another. Advances in bioelectronic sensors now allow us to detect subtle electrical impulses within plant tissues, signals that may correspond to stress responses, growth cycles, or environmental changes. These discoveries suggest that plants possess a form of language, a code embedded in the rhythms of their cellular activity. By developing sensitive instruments capable of interpreting these signals, scientists are beginning to translate the silent dialogues of plants into human understandable information. This emerging field raises exciting possibilities for enhancing agriculture, conservation, and even urban planning, where plants could relay real-time feedback about soil health, water availability, or pest attacks, enabling timely and precise interventions. As we refine our ability to listen to plants, we also deepen our appreciation for their intricate role within ecosystems, a reminder that communication is not solely the domain of animals, but a shared thread woven throughout the natural world. Integrating computational modeling with ecological data further enriches our understanding of plant communication within their communities. In forests, meadows, and gardens, plants form interconnected networks, often referred to as the Wood Wide Web, where roots and fungal partners transmit nutrients and chemical signals. These networks facilitate cooperative behaviors such as warning neighboring plants of herbivore threats or coordinating flowering times to optimize pollination. By simulating these interactions through sophisticated algorithms, researchers can predict how plant communities respond to environmental stresses or human disturbances. Such insights empower us to manage ecosystems more sustainably, preserving biodiversity and resilience in the face of climate change. Moreover, the prospect of engaging with these networks through human-controlled biointerfaces opens new frontiers in ecosystem management. Imagine devices that could send beneficial signals to plants, enhancing their growth or resistance, or systems that interpret plant signals to monitor ecosystem health continuously. This fusion of technology and biology offers a glimpse into a future where humans participate harmoniously in the communication web of life. The challenge lies in developing ethical and gentle methods that respect the autonomy of plant communities while harnessing their communicative potential for mutual benefit. Exploring direct communication with plants also prompts us to reconsider long-standing notions about consciousness and intelligence in living organisms. While plants lack nervous systems, their capacity for complex signaling and adaptive behavior suggests a form of sentience uniquely adapted to their stationary existence. Investigations into plant neurobiology reveal that electrical signals and hormone-like substances coordinate responses to light, touch, and chemical stimuli, allowing plants to remember and learn from experience in subtle ways. This challenges anthropocentric views and invites a more inclusive perspective on cognition, where intelligence manifests in diverse biological architectures. By tuning into plant communication, humans may cultivate a deeper empathy for non-animal life forms and foster a stewardship ethic grounded in respect and interconnectedness. Such a shift holds transformative potential for education, environmental policy, and cultural values, encouraging societies to embrace a more holistic relationship with the living world. As we journey toward this new understanding, the boundaries between human and plant realms may blur, inviting collaboration rather than domination in our shared ecosystems. The technological horizon also beckons with the promise of biohybrid systems, interfaces that seamlessly integrate living plants with electronic devices. Researchers are experimenting with living sensors, where plants themselves become components of monitoring platforms, responding to environmental stimuli and transmitting data through embedded circuits. This synergy between organic and synthetic elements could revolutionize how we interact with natural environments, enabling continuous, non-invasive observation of ecosystem dynamics. Envision smart green spaces where plants communicate their needs and conditions directly to caretakers or automated systems, optimizing urban agriculture and enhancing biodiversity in cityscapes. The ethical considerations surrounding such technologies emphasize the importance of collaboration, ensuring that interventions support plant welfare and ecological balance rather than exploitation. As these innovations unfold, they reflect a growing recognition that humans are not separate from, but deeply enmeshed within the living networks that sustain our planet. This evolving dialogue between biology and technology invites us to co-create futures where communication bridges species and fosters harmony across the biosphere. Beneath the surface of what might seem like a quiet, still world, plants are engaged in an intricate and ongoing dialogue that shapes the health and function of entire ecosystems. Through a variety of subtle chemical signals and physical responses, plants communicate with one another and with other organisms around them. This hidden conversation takes place in the air as airborne compounds, within the soil through root networks, and even via symbiotic relationships with fungi. When a plant senses stress, such as insect attack or drought, it can release warning molecules that neighboring plants detect, prompting them to activate their own defensive mechanisms. These chemical messages travel invisibly, yet effectively, creating a network of awareness that enhances the resilience of plant communities. Such communication is not limited to warning signals. It also encompasses the sharing of resources and information that supports growth and adaptation. Mycorrhizal fungi, often referred to as the wood wide web, serve as conduits for nutrients and signals, linking plants underground. This interconnectedness allows for cooperative interactions, where stronger plants may support weaker ones, and diverse species can thrive together. The complexity of this system reveals that plants are far from passive. They are active participants in maintaining balance within their environments. The significance of plant communication extends beyond individual survival, playing a crucial role in sustaining biodiversity and ecosystem functions. By exchanging information, plants influence pollinators, herbivores, and soil microbes, orchestrating a delicate balance among species. For example, the scents emitted by flowers not only attract specific pollinators, but can also deter pests, demonstrating the multifaceted nature of plant signaling. These interactions encourage a dynamic interplay that promotes species richness and ecosystem stability. Moreover, plants can adjust their growth patterns and chemical profiles based on the signals received from their neighbors, effectively responding to competition and environmental changes. This adaptive behavior enhances the overall resilience of ecosystems, allowing them to recover from disturbances such as fires, floods, or human activities. Understanding these processes deepens our appreciation for the subtle intelligence embedded in natural systems and challenges us to consider the implications of disrupting these communication networks through land use or pollution. Observing and decoding these silent exchanges offer valuable insights for conservation strategies and sustainable land management, emphasizing the interconnectedness of all living components. Recent advances in science have illuminated the mechanisms behind plant communication, revealing a rich language composed of chemical cues, electrical signals, and even vibrational messages. Plants emit volatile organic compounds that travel through the air, alerting others to potential threats or environmental changes. Additionally, Electrical impulses can transmit information within a single plant, coordinating responses to stimuli. Some research suggests that plants may also utilize subtle vibrations to convey information, adding another layer to this complex communication network. These discoveries challenge long-standing assumptions about plant behavior and cognition, inviting a more nuanced understanding of plant life. The integration of molecular biology, ecology, and technology continues to uncover the depth of plant interactions, highlighting the sophisticated strategies plants have evolved over millions of years to coexist and flourish. These revelations inspire a shift in perspective, encouraging us to see plants not merely as passive organisms, but as dynamic communicators, engaged in an ongoing dialogue, essential to ecosystem vitality. As we continue to explore these silent conversations, the potential for applying this knowledge in areas such as agriculture, forestry, and environmental restoration becomes increasingly apparent. As we reflect on the intricate world of plant communication, it becomes clear that plants are far more than static background elements in our environment. Their ability to send and receive signals, whether through chemical emissions, electrical impulses, or subtle vibrations, demonstrates a remarkable form of intelligence adapted to their unique existence. This intelligence is not cognitive in the way animals experience it, but it is a sophisticated system, finely tuned to ensure survival, growth, and cooperation within complex ecosystems. Acknowledging this form of plant intelligence encourages us to reconsider our relationship with nature, seeing plants as active participants in the web of life rather than mere resources. Such a shift in perspective invites a greater sense of respect and mindfulness in how we interact with the natural world, recognizing that plants contribute actively to the health and balance of the environments we all depend on. The implications of plant communication extend beyond biological curiosity. They touch on the very foundations of ecological balance and sustainability. Plants communicate warnings about herbivores or environmental stress, enabling neighboring individuals to prepare defenses or adjust growth strategies. This network of information sharing supports resilience in plant communities, fostering biodiversity and ecosystem stability. When we consider human activities such as agriculture, deforestation, and urbanization, the importance of this plant dialogue becomes even more apparent. Disrupting these channels of communication can weaken ecosystems and reduce their capacity to recover from disturbances. Embracing our role as stewards of the earth means recognizing the subtle yet vital conversations plants conduct and striving to preserve the conditions that allow these interactions to flourish. This awareness can guide more thoughtful land management and conservation practices, reinforcing the interconnectedness of all living things. Moreover, the study of plant communication inspires innovative approaches to addressing global challenges, such as food security and climate change. By understanding how plants signal stress or adapt to environmental fluctuations, scientists and farmers can develop strategies that enhance crop resilience and reduce dependency on chemical interventions. For example, harnessing natural plant signals could lead to early detection of pests or drought conditions, allowing for timely and precise responses that protect yields while minimizing ecological impact. This knowledge also invites a broader ethical consideration of our place within nature,
encouraging us to act with humility and care. Recognizing the intelligence inherent in plants serves as a gentle reminder that humans are part of a vast and intricate community of life, where every member plays a role in sustaining the planet's health.
Ultimately, embracing the reality of plant communication nurtures a deeper appreciation for the silent, ongoing conversations that shape the world around us. It calls us to listen attentively, not just with our ears, but with our awareness and respect. Such listening fosters a sense of kinship and responsibility, urging us to protect and cherish the green networks that support life on Earth. As science continues to unveil the mysteries of plant behavior, we are invited to move beyond seeing plants as passive objects and instead recognize their dynamic participation in the ecosystems we share. This awareness enriches our understanding of nature's complexity and beauty, inspiring a more compassionate and sustainable coexistence. In this way, respecting plant intelligence becomes a profound act of care for the planet and all its inhabitants.